It's you liberals who have lifted them up, Howard.
Oh, you conservatives make a mistake. You can't afford to strangle hope in people. Without hope, people become dangerous.
No, Howard. You liberals have let them invade our society. You give them jobs, political jobs.
Oh, you missed the point. It's only the smart ones we move up.
That makes it even worse.
Oh, we have to move them up. If we leave a smart one in the ghetto, he might develop into a leader against us. But if we raise him up into white society, we neutralize him. He feels compelled to try to act like us. He loses his identity and his racial anger, if he has any. He becomes alien to his brothers. They realize he sold them out and they grow to hate him. He becomes worthless to them and safe for us. No, thank you. In fact, in his love for the creature comforts, except for his color, he's become one of us.
Just at the moment that the Panthers are turning towards survival programs, towards free breakfast programs, free clinics, and free food programs that will help them reconnect with the Black community and build their membership, and repudiating this earlier advocacy of armed self-defense and police patrols, J. Edgar Hoover attacks the Panthers.
Hoover saw any form of Black organizing as a threat to the status quo as he saw it. Change that would have involved equality, that would have put power in Black people's hands, was very much a threat to Hoover. He started something called COINTELPRO, directed against what he called Black nationalist hate groups.
COINTELPRO was the abbreviation of
about the KKK
intelligence program.
The purpose of this new counterintelligence endeavor is to expose, disrupt, misdirect, discredit, or otherwise neutralize the activities of Black nationalists.
Neutralize could mean making somebody an informant, or putting somebody in jail, or having somebody killed. Hoover was sending letters to various offices almost on a weekly basis to come up with new ideas to go after members of the Black Panther Party.
"245 of the 290 COINTELPRO actions were against the Black Panthers. One of the mandates was do not make this program public. Do not tell anybody that it exists.
FBI has a memo that states the objectives of counterintelligence operations. One is to prevent the rise of what they call the Black Messiah, a single charismatic leader that can unify the movement. They want to prevent the appeal of radical political movement to Black youth. And they wanted to isolate these groups to prevent them from gaining respectability in the Black community. And they were very explicit in stating these goals.
We were followed every day. We were harassed. Our phones were tapped. Our families were harassed. My parents were both visited by the FBI.
We must create suspicion with respect to their respective spouses, and your imagination and resourcefulness must be employed in order for the Bureau to be successful.
But some of us will lose our lives. Tupac is gone already. Biggie is gone already. Many of us, Yusuf Hawkins is gone already. Many of us are already dead, and we're dying every day. And while we're here in Queens tonight, Black men and women and young Black boys are dying at the hands of some cracker somewhere in America right now. I would rather die for a cause than to die because you in some bar room pinching somebody's wife on the booty on the bar stool and get your throat cut with a Miller Lite bottle. A way to go. Say your daddy got killed. Say, yeah. How did he get killed? Say he pinched somebody's wife on the booty at the bar stool. The dude picked up a Miller Lite bottle of Budweiser Light and broke it and cut his throat. Is that the way he died? Well, he died in the East Coast, West Coast fight. East Coast, West Coast. You a damn fool. You'll die over some bullshit? Some damn records? A damn CD? You are what you call a recording studio gangster? Oh, you bad as hell in the recording studio. Ain't a nigga in the world badder than you. Capone couldn't mess with you. Babyface, Nelson, none of them couldn't mess with you. A recording studio gangster. You just as bad as you can be. You gon' blow, put your gat in the nigga's mouth and blow the nigga's brains out. I'll stomp that hoe. I'll kick that bitch out. White man show up, you can hear a rat pee on cotton. Nigga ain't ready to fight. Nigga ain't ready to fight.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another episode, another live on the forecast. It's not an episode, this is another live. And first and foremost, let me say thank you to everybody who donated to the to the fundraiser thing that we're doing for the people down in Lawrence County, Alabama. I appreciate the real ones who show support, and I gotta show y'all love all day. And and the link is in the description if you want to be a part. Go check out that video. But that's a part of the reason that we're here too, Now I'm gonna say all of this stuff to give people time to get in here. Make sure y'all download the fan base app. What's good, my sister Erica? I know Erica is definitely a real one. And make sure y'all follow Erica on the fan base app and all of that stuff. And yo, what up, Jermaine? Yo, that's what's up, Jermaine. And look, so we having the next meeting next Saturday, so nobody can say that I didn't give nobody no warning. We having the next meeting next Saturday at 3:00. All right, so and that's East Coast time. That's 12:00 on the West Coast time. I don't know in the middle, whatever. We'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to be a part of it, you can come to the you email me. My email is also in the description if you want to be a part of a solution instead of just getting on here talking and debating. But I'm going to be honest, and it's not news to me. It's not a surprise. But because like I said before, black people just like to talk, you know what I'm saying? We just like to argue with each other. That's all we really want. We really don't want the change. And you can tell by the views, you know what I'm saying? I know people complain about the stuff that I talk about, but if you go look at the views, you'll see what people are into, and not just my views. You go through YouTube and you see what people are into. Now, see, when I had that white boy come on here arguing, people, be nice to him, be nice to him. But that's what they want to see. But more so, you want to see other black people going in on each other. Yo, what up, my brother Rasheed Holmes? But like I told you, we not getting into that over here. And see, like, when it's time to be a part of the solution, then all of a sudden, a lot of black people start getting ghosted. When we actually start talking about making moves, a lot of people get ghosts, even though they say, well, what are the solutions? What can we do? What can we go? What can we build? What can we have? We can do anything we want to do, but y'all don't want to do anything at the end of the day, except argue about what your beliefs are with other black people. Meanwhile, you got to conform all of your beliefs to fit into the society that you've been forced to live in, to make the money that, well, by the way, they don't have pictures of people that look like you, but you got to do things to get those things so you can quote unquote live in comfort, so you can pay somebody else to give you water, so you can pay somebody else to give you lights. And like I said, we can say the solution 1,000 times over. The videos that I make, yeah, I show the answers and all of that. I try to. But the point is to get you motivated to do something, because it's something psychologically wrong with us at the end of the day. And guess what? No matter what you think that you represent, your ideology has been defeated. You lost. We lost. We got to eat. We got to take that L. We straight lost. But we rather argue about what we identify as, to say what we are, what we aren't, more importantly, and tell everybody else what they are. And that's so stupid to me. I always be like, yo, I don't get into that. I don't tear down black people's ideology. And I still don't believe in doing stuff like that. But you lost because of your ideology. Your ideology is going to lose to the quote unquote white supremacy. I know y'all don't like to say white supremacy, but that's what it is, because it reigns supreme over you, because you'd rather fight about your ideologies. And you tell me it's not supreme, and then go out there and drive on the street, and then a cop get behind you and tell me how you feel. Or you go to court and you tell me how you feel. I mean, I know a lot of y'all is quote unquote hard and all of this, but you're going to follow their rules. All right. You're so gangster up until then. Well, I'll tell you what, your ideology has not helped you. You have taken the L. And you can't even start to do nothing until you accept the L that you have been given at the end of the day. Because for real, when it comes down to like, yo, people not having clean water, what do I care what your ideology is? And y'all feel like it's so important to argue over that. This is such a point that needs to be discussed, when you don't control nothing. And that's the retarded part about it. We want to pray and wait on a God that, by the way, your enemy prays to that same God, and it seems like they answer their prayers. Why would I want to pray to a God that answers my enemy's prayers to enslave me, or to be in control over my identity or who I am? Why would I want to do that? But that's just what black people do. What up, my brother Brandon? And guess what? Because like, yo, I'll be like, yo, for me, I don't say I identify as anything particularly, but people are like, no, you got to do this, you got to do that. Just not even so they can support me, but so they can debunk what I believe in. That's the crazy part is, but we agree on all of these things that is more important, but you want to debunk what I believe in. Guess what? All of it is dead. You lost. Pan-Africanism is dead. You're lost. Because you can't even work with your neighbor. How the hell you gonna work with somebody across seas? This FBA stuff is dead because we want to argue with everybody else instead of get on code. Like, we gotta bow down to somebody else's ideology. That's the first thing that most people ideologies you don't want to admit to. You gotta submit to the Englishman's rule. Number one. That's what all of them. And people get offended with me because I don't be like, yo, you should support this ideology, you should support that ideology, when really I really don't agree with a lot of it. But I'm not into telling other people what to think, what to feel, what to act, what to be. I'm just trying to motivate you to do something to help yourself. And no matter what none of y'all want to do, I'm still going to do what I do. I don't really care if you believe it or not. That's not up to me. And the crazy part is, if you believe something is like, yo, not true or nothing, go build something yourself, because you will know that it's true. That's the crazy part. But no, black people, you have to follow me and my organization in the way that I do things, because we have the correct way. Instead of just doing your correct way over there and then be like, yo, look what we build to this person who's done their correct way over there and they've built their own thing. Well, you know what? You've actually built like something that can sustain us as far as like a trucking industry. If you built something that can sustain us as far as a farming industry, let's do business together. No, black people is way too emotional. But Erica, do you know why they want to debunk what you believe in and pick you apart? Because you are afraid to actually be in charge of your own life. And that's the truth about it. See, that's why I take baby steps. I know this stuff. Like I'm not going to act like I'm different from nobody else. See, a lot of us act like we have no flaws and we're not different. I'm an average black man like everybody else. But I'm not afraid to actually challenge this stuff. That's why I'm not going to take my time to find reasons why I can't work with this other black person, because why I'm taking time to find why I can't work with this black person, I could have worked with these 50 black people who believe what I believe in. But no, all we've done was work together to figure out how to debunk this person's talking point, how to debunk this elder's teachings or whatever it is. Now, I don't know if Bakari listening, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, we have conversations about the leadership thing all the time. And I definitely get what he's saying because, like, yo, we are, you know, a speech, like, everything has, like, a leader kind of thing. I understand that part. That's not what I'm saying. But black people can get caught up into cults. Like, it's crazy. It's unbelievable. And I'm convinced that we only want to talk about solutions that won't work, because then we could say, well, we talked about solutions, but we just said why they wouldn't work instead of going out there to do something that will work. And like I said, for me, I talk about white supremacy. I say the term white supremacy. Does that mean that white people are genetically superior? No. It means they created a society where they are in charge and they can make the rules and they can hire and fire you. They can put food in your area or not. They can redline you. They can enslave you and you still not do nothing about it at the end of the day, for real, for real. That is a whole system that they created. Yo, what up, Raw? Yo, what up, Bakari? They created, and do you know why they created it? Because they take action behind their words. See, we have the words and no actions because you are terrified. That's really the truth. We terrified. You don't want to be in charge of disposing of your own shit, because then that's what controlling your own community really means. It's not, you know, being able to do all these other things where I don't know what people think it means. It means you are in charge of disposing of your own shit. And you ain't even proud of that, though. You know what I'm saying? When you get to the point where you're proud of that, then maybe you'll get somewhere. But all of it is dead. The Pan-Africanism, it is dead. Do you know why? Because black people hate each other's guts. The FBA stuff is dead. It is. Because you won't even help other black Americans or build something exclusively for black America. That's real FBA stuff right there. The whole Christian stuff. I mean, yo, we can't even get past the black men, black woman mentality. Yo, what's up, Amina? See, we gotta sit here and fight with each other about why black women is wrong, or no, why black men is wrong. Is retarded. But see, that's the cowardice coming out of you, out of us. And yeah, I try to not take whatever away. But the only way that you can ever be a sovereign citizen is when you roll up with your own guns and you tell people, I'm walking this way and it ain't nothing you could do about it. Is when you say, oh, well, you know, China, I know I owe you a debt, but what you gonna do? That's when you're sovereign. This is the reality. It's not about what somebody else puts on a paper. It's irrelevant. When you say, yo, you got 24 hours to get the hell up out of my community, especially if you're selling us some poison, or nobody's coming here. That's what it is. That's called sovereignty. But when you say, well, we can go to, this person's court and, argue about it, like, they keep blocking me on YouTube, I'm gonna go sue them. That's not sovereign. Sovereign is like, yo, yeah, I did it, and what? What you gonna do? But you only got that mentality when we step on each other's shoe. And see, I'm not of the feeling like it can't be reversed, because I understand that stuff is really coming from fear. It's because you don't want to stand up to somebody who got a damn army. But that's really because you don't got a damn army. But I do know that when you start building confidence, you start making different decisions and you start doing different things. And I do know, yeah, ancestors was gangster enough to do all of that. But they have done a damn good job of preventing the rise of a black messiah. But that's what it is. That's what a war is. You can't expect your enemy not to be doing everything they can to maintain their position. Yeah, they're gonna do everything possible. And see, when you study the Sun Tzu, the Art of War, you're winning a war when you get your enemy to destroy themselves and you don't even have to lift the finger. And you do that because you're afraid to lift the finger. Because not only does it mean that somebody will come for you. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. It is what it is. But, it's heavier the head that the person that don't got the crown, because they got to do what the person with the crown says. So miss me with all of that. But no, you rather argue about why you can't work with somebody else, but you can find ways to work with everybody else. It's telling me that we got a psychological issue with each other, and your way of life is not, what I'm saying, it's just not working. Every one of these ideologies, they lost the war. They lost. What are you going to do? And I don't care what you can come on here and tell me that you represent. You lost. Because if I ask you a series of questions that you won't be able to answer. Most importantly, our family history, that's how disgusting that it is that we have to argue about our history. And I don't even understand why people want to tell other people what they are, like it's relevant to today and time. Whether you was over here in 1321, 1322 is irrelevant to 2022, because it's not the same situation. Guess what? If you're indigenous, they showed up here and took your land. And now they occupy the land and make you do all the stuff that you're the worker going to work, making $10 an hour, making somebody else $1,000 an hour, using up all of your natural resources. If you're Pan-African, people are in Africa doing the same thing to them. It's crazy. What do you get from it? What do you get from any of that? And see, you don't want to be responsible for who you are or what you do. But I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to put the link in the chat for anybody who want to come on here. Because the truth is, I have belief in myself, I have belief in the people for real, But maybe we have to start from square one. It is what it is. I'm willing to do that. Because our minds is straight baby mode right now. Straight baby mode. And maybe we had to do that to survive or whatever it is. But okay, now it's today. That was yesterday. Now it's time for us to do what it is that we have to do and stop relying on somebody else. And I don't care what it is. And when it comes to politics, okay, well, we're putting our own, let's go back to rocking FUBU, the for us, by us, for our politicians. You got to have a black agenda, not just a black policy, one thing. No, you got to have a whole thing for us. How about that? But we can't even agree on, what I'm saying, what is black. And it's like, it's starting to get like sick at this point that we want to have the same conversations and the same arguments over and over. The irrelevant arguments at that. We're not even arguing on the best way to achieve economic success. We're arguing about what somebody else's identity is. And we don't even know our great-great-grandparents. And we're arguing about that. Not about how we can make reusable energy. Let's argue about how to make reusable energy. But then you'll have to be responsible for your own actions and decisions and stuff like that. Meanwhile, yeah, I'm trying, Raw. But, nothing is going to reach. I mean, slavery couldn't reach them. What can I do? You know what I'm saying? Jim Crow couldn't reach them. Lynchings couldn't reach them, I mean, everything that you can imagine that somebody has been through, it has not been able to reach black people. And it's up to us today to find that thing that is able to get black people to do that. But I will say this, during those times, they had more solidarity. They ain't be like, yo, it's black women's fault. No, they was like, yo, black men and black women, let's work together to build this organization and do what we got to do. They ain't be like, yo, like, you come from here, you come from there. Like, yo, we ain't going to work together. No, they went to different places and worked it out. But still, we had, even then, this mindset of, well, we're just going to kill not all white people is bad. Not all of them. Some of them, maybe. The slave owners, we'll get rid of them. No. It's called like, yo. And meanwhile, while we're arguing about this, let me show you what they're doing here. This is your boy Bill Gates here. Now owns most of the farmland in America. What do you know? So, same stuff that we talk about all the time, right? But guess who's taking action? And that's the whole difference. They may talk about it, but it's action. We may talk about it, and then it's an argument and a fallout because you're FBA and I'm Pan-African, or I'm FBA and you're Pan-African, or I'm a Christian, you're a Muslim. That's retarded. We're the best Arabs in the world. We're the best Europeans in the world. We're the best Asians in the world. We're the best Christian. We're the best all of that stuff, but we are the worst black people in the world. Make that make sense right there.
Up 242,000 acres of farmland across the U.S., enough to make him the top private farmland owner in America. According to the Land Report, the tech billionaire has been purchasing agricultural land for years, building a massive portfolio of farmland in 18 states. His largest holdings are more than 60.
Louisiana, 69,071 acres of farmland.
9,000
Bill Gates by himself.
Acres in Louisiana, almost 48,000.
Arkansas, 47,927 acres of farmland. In Arkansas, I mean, look at these states that they're talking about now.
1,000 acres in Arkansas and about 20,000.
Okay, Nebraska, with 20,000,
500 acres in Nebraska. Additionally, he has a stake in 25,750 acres of traditional land in Phoenix, Arizona, which is being developed as a new suburb. It's not clear how Gates's farmland is being used or whether any of the land is being set aside for conservation. This is not Gates's only foray into agriculture. In 2008, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation announced $306 million in grants to promote high-yield, sustainable agriculture among farmers in sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia.
Now, I'm going to play this part again. Keep in mind now, back in 2008, he said, and since then, they have been banned out of these countries because they have, done crimes against humanity that they should be put to death for. You know what I'm saying? Since that time. So,
High-yield, sustainable agriculture among farmers in sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia. The foundation also invested in the development of supercrops resistant to climate change and higher yield dairy cows. While Gates may be the country's biggest farmland owner, he's not the largest individual landowner. According to the Land Report's list of the top 100 American landowners, Liberty Media chair John Malone is the largest landowner with 2.2 million acres of ranches and forests.
2.2 million acres of ranches and forests. This old ass white dude right here. He done more than all of us put together. Like, I'm not just talking about us here. I'm talking about all of us. This little pasty, dumb white dude here. He's done more than you. And then that versus your ideology, you know what I'm saying? Where, everybody we need to, think the way I think. It is what it is. So why did he quietly become the largest owner of land? I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I don't know what else I could say about this.
For many investors, agricultural land was not in their investment portfolio until the beginning of 2021, when several US media revealed that the largest owner of agricultural land was Bill Gates. Despite being more recognized in the computer world as the founder of Microsoft or by his foundation, Bill Gates has quietly bought, since the last 10 years, 269,000 acres of land, of which 242,000 are for agriculture. Expressed in another way, these 242,000 acres are equivalent to 378 square miles. To get an idea, the land area of New York City is 302 square miles. So it's like Bill Gates owning more land.
Man, do you see that? Farmland. This is just farmland. 378 square miles. Land area, New York City, 302 square miles. Black people, not on the list.
Land than the entire city of New York. These acquisitions are not concentrated in a single territory, but he has bought land in 19 states across the United
States. Blow this up. All of these states. Some of you have lived here, some of you have been to these states, and none of you probably have any farmland in any of these states. As a collective, this is just one person versus a collective. And I'm just saying, look at the title.
United States. But the question is, what is Bill Gates' interest in accumulating so much farmland to the point of becoming the largest landowner in the United States? Many speculated about Bill Gates' motivation for buying that much land, assuming it was a food sustainability strategy or something to do with climate change. But Gates himself denied that these acquisitions had anything to do with these issues or with any objective of his foundation.
Ironically, there's a food shortage a couple years later, right?
So it could be said that the billionaire bought so much agricultural land for the profitability and value they offer, and for what food production will mean in the future for the entire population. Unlike other types of investments, agricultural land has an intrinsic value. No matter what happens,
all right, so he ain't really talking about nothing for the rest of the video.
People will continue to need to eat, and with higher than 8.1% for real estate,
well, he's talking about a lot. You should watch
for
it,
US stocks, and 6% for gold. So buying land is a good investment and has been for a long time because it is a limited resource. So
all right, so I'm gonna stop right there. Y'all need to watch that, you know what I'm saying? Now, this is what I'm telling you, right? Now, I don't know how many people will say, yo, whether you use the term white supremacist or not, that Bill Gates is one of them, right? But see, what Bill Gates is doing is quietly out here buying farmland while we're loudly out here talking about buying farmland and not doing the damn thing. Now, I'm not saying all black people, because there are people who have done that. But let's be real here. And see, like, this is how you run the world. This is the stuff that you do. You don't sit there and argue on their platforms. You build the platforms and let them argue on there. You're supposed to make Reddit and let them argue about why, black people are more racist, while you breaking in the dollars. Oh, we can keep coming on here You know, at least we going on fan base a lot more, a black owned app. But I mean, like, let's be real. Since 2008, you see all of the experiments that he was doing, buying up all of this land, farmland, by the way. And ironically, a couple years later, there's a food shortage where people need to stock up on doing this stuff. But see, we've been talking about the farmland, and the land that we got has been taken. So how are you a sovereign citizen? You ain't a sovereign citizen until you walk up and say, "Get the hell above my people's land." I don't care if you in the Sioux tribe. I don't care if you from Nigeria. If you been here and your people have this land and somebody else took it, you lost. And you never gonna get it back until you are willing to put aside your tribal differences, because they have their tribal differences. Don't make that mistake. But a nigga is not worth giving up, you know, or a nigga is not worth, you know what I'm saying, coming together to sacrifice those tribal lines to make sure they stay in place. That's only you that's doing this kind of stuff. But see, when we talk about the stuff that we talk about, right? See, like, their people are willing to step up and help each other. They're not just going to let their people go out there and be hurt. That's what they do. That's how you stay in position. You stay on a code, not fight over any single reason. Let me share the screen. See, like, they have this whole propaganda about this war. See, I get a hard time because, you know, there's other black people get uncomfortable with me talking about the brutality that we face, even though that's the one thing that black people will put their tribal differences aside together for 72 hours and go outside with some picket signs and protest and demand justice and say no peace, and then be the most peaceful group of people. But no, the people that you're going against say war is good business. How U.S. weapons make U.S. weapon maker make how U.S. weapons makers profit in Ukraine. See, now, if we was on the stage that we need to be talking on, we would be like, yo, how can we profit off of this Russia-Ukraine thing? Maybe we can use it to our leverage. Say, yo, you know what? We're gonna like help Russia with whatever, unless you act right, Joe Biden, and break us off this reparations that we say we want. See, we're not thinking about that because, you know, guess what? You know, we want to argue about who's included in all of that stuff and who's black and what is black, and Italians are black, but I'm not black. Black people aren't black, but Italians are black. Mexicans are black. Everybody's black, but the person who's saying they're black isn't black. But they're saying, no, war is good business, so we're going to make this happen. Instead of us saying, well, you know what? War could, especially against two Europeans, could be great business. We can use this not only to make money, but to get leverage. But either we're going to be like, yo, put the Ukraine flag on our Facebook page, or we're going to be like, yo, this war has nothing to do with me. Now, you better start learning how to capitalize and say stuff like war is good business.
As Russian troops poured across Ukraine's border, kicking off the Russian invasion in late February, something else was happening at the same time in New York. The stock prices of the biggest U.S. weapons manufacturers spiked, many eventually climbing to their highest point in years.
And by the way, for anybody who invests, peep that. The weapons companies, since the start of the war, have spiked. And there's always going to be the fear of this. Right now, it's not the fear of the Great Negro, but it's this Ukraine thing. But there's always this fear going on that they like to spread to America, like, yo, the Negro rapist, you know, the Negro killer, OJ's loose, you know what I'm saying?
The stock prices of the biggest U.S. weapons manufacturers spiked, many eventually climbing to their highest point in years.
War is good business for parts of the economy. Historically, it doesn't mean the defense contractors cynically want it. I know a lot of people in these companies, and they're as heartbroken by the war in Ukraine as the next person. But yes, war is good business for certain parts of the economy.
Yeah, you heard them. You're like, yeah, they're just as heartbroken as anybody else, but it's just as good for business. They'll get over that heartbreak real quick.
Ukraine as the next person. But yes, war is good business for certain parts of the economy.
The latest American weapons shipments to Ukraine include systems like scores of 155mm howitzers that haven't been sent before, Switchblade and Ghost drones, hundreds of armored personnel carriers joining the now well-known and brutally effective Javelins and Stingers on Ukraine's battlefields.
Sometimes we will speak softly and carry a large Javelin because we're sending a lot of those in as well.
Javelins are made in part by Raytheon. The CEO said last month they do expect to benefit from the need to replenish U.S. stocks.
We don't apologize for making these systems, making these weapons. The fact is they are incredibly effective in deterring and dealing with the threat that the Ukrainians are seeing today. Eventually, we'll have to replenish it, and we will see a benefit to the business over the next coming years.
Raytheon, along with 7 other weapons companies, including Lockheed Martin, Boeing, and Northrop Grumman, met earlier this month with top Pentagon brass in a classified meeting about not just supplying Ukraine, but replenishing U.S. and allied inventories.
I'm not going to deny that these kinds of conflicts can help certain companies. It's the reality of the situation, but we should also be glad, to the extent we want to help Ukraine, we should be glad we have this industrial base that's capable of producing this stuff on short notice with such high quality.
The Biden administration alone has contributed almost $3.5 billion.
Hold on, y'all. All right, hold on, my bad. Let me play it. All right, my bad, y'all. Let me run it back a little bit.
Month with top Pentagon brass in a classified meeting about not just supplying Ukraine, but replenishing U.S. and allied inventories.
I'm not going to deny that these kinds of conflicts can help certain companies. It's the reality of the situation, but we should also be glad, to the extent we want to help Ukraine, we should be glad we have this industrial base that's capable of producing this stuff on short notice with such high quality.
Now let me run that back and break it down.
Not just supplying Ukraine, but replenishing U.S. and allied inventories.
I'm not going to deny that these kinds of conflicts can help certain companies.
Now, I'm not going to deny that these kind of conflicts can help Negroes.
It's the reality of the situation, but
It's the reality of the situation.
should also be glad, to the extent we want to help Ukraine.
We should be glad to the extent that we want to help all of ourselves, Black people everywhere.
Should be glad we have this industrial base that's capable of producing this stuff on short.
Now, we damn sure need this industrial business industry that can produce this stuff very quickly, because we don't have that right now.
Notice with such high quality.
The Biden administration alone has contributed almost $3.5 billion of military aid to Ukraine in the 2 months of Russia's war. Compared to the Pentagon's 2023 requested budget for weapons, that's just 1.2%. Critics say the Pentagon and contractors could use the Ukraine conflict to justify bigger budgets and more weapons sales.
My concern is when those weapons are replenished, will it be at a reasonable cost? Will the contractors gouge the taxpayer? And also, will there be ancillary changes in our military spending that don't really relate to Ukraine, but are used because of the fear related to the Russian invasion to spend on things that really don't have to do with the defense of Europe.
There are also
Now, I know this sounds foreign to y'all because this is not about where somebody comes from. It's not about whose fault it is. It's not about how old you are. It's not about what your skin color is. This is talking about, how we can make money, use war, what I'm saying, defense contractors, what I'm saying? Or maybe we should start learning this kind of language if somebody wants to follow somebody else, or if we need somebody else's as or if we need other people as allies. Maybe we should start looking at what those quote unquote allies do, right? And then maybe you won't need them no more.
concerns about where the billions of dollars of weapons are going. Once they cross the border into Ukraine, officials say the U.S. has no way to track the weapons, nor, of course, where they end up in the long run.
Once it gets into Ukrainian hands, it's up to the Ukrainian armed forces to decide where it goes, what unit gets it, when, where it's.
Once it's in Negro hands, it's up to them. Like, I know we have our organization. Ben may have his organization. Afro Think Tank may have his organization. But once we get these weapons or this money or this whatever we need into their hands, it's up to them to decide how to do this for the best of all people that look like us.
Once it gets into Ukrainian hands, it's up to the Ukrainian armed forces to decide where it goes, what unit gets it, when, where it's stored, if it's stored at all temporarily. That is up to the Ukrainians to decide, not the United States.
In the $33 billion of funding that President Joe Biden just requested today for Ukraine.
$33 billion that Joe Biden just requested today.
$1 billion of funding that President
A couple
Joe Biden
days
just
ago.
requested today for Ukraine. Over a third of it, $11.4 billion, was allocated to replenishing the U.S. weapons inventory and for Ukraine to buy more weapons. That's where this new business for these weapons companies will come from, Jake. And the concern now is whether these companies will take advantage.
What do you know? Right now, not only are they quote unquote pan-Europeans, but they're doing business. It's not about their emotions. They're selling them guns and weapons. What do you know? Right? Not even strawberries and apples. They're selling them, tanks and missiles. But black people no, you come from there. I'm not even gonna sell you a clothespin. I don't understand, $33 billion in Ukraine aid, right? An additional to what they've already have given. See, this is what happens when people work together to maintain a quote unquote system. Now, they may have their own aims, they may have their own agendas. I'm saying, forget their agenda. What is our agenda? It's time to start making our own agenda. Their agenda is not our agenda. Our agenda is to flex our agenda, right? To do what we have to do for ourselves. That's what we have to do. Not stop. We have to stop responding to other people and make what we want to make. You have the ability to call yourself whatever the hell you want to call yourself, and it don't matter where the hell you come from. So why argue about it? You have the ability to make yourself into whatever you want to make yourself. Learn from all the failures and take all the successes and do the things that work for you. See, and that's the crazy thing. You would do business with every other group. You may say that, but if a Mexican person, whatever, you're going to do business. A white person, you're going to do business. A Negro, well, we got to not be the same, you know what I'm saying? Because we come from different places. It's crazy to me. And I get it. But see, they are smart enough to know that this is business. It's about maintaining power, taking power, control. One takes action, the other just argues about who's right and who's wrong. Now, I mean, I guess nobody disagrees with me because nobody came on here. So I guess y'all feel like Pan-African is dead. I guess y'all feel like FBA is dead. So y'all can stop talking about it. I don't want to hear about none of that no more. Since y'all don't have nothing to say. because all of it is dead. You can't even help yourself. So how are you going to be a Pan-African? How are you going to be a FBA when you can't even help yourself? So I guess we done with all of that. And I don't want to hear nothing else about the titles. I don't want to hear nothing about the solutions. I'm going to talk about what I talk about until y'all are down to help. I don't want to hear none of that no more. Because for me, quite frankly, I don't think y'all are ready for that level of freedom. I think that I said, like, do you want freedom, equality, or comfort? You want comfort. You don't even want equality. You want comfort. And I know where you at. But I'm going to drag you to freedom one way or another. It is what it is. So I don't want to hear nothing about, well, we got to maintain this Pan-African stuff. We got to maintain this FBA stuff. We got to maintain this indigenous stuff. Shut up about all of that if you ain't willing to help the very people that you're talking about. Like, when I talk about, when I make the videos, it's easy for people to criticize and say stuff that they, whatever they want to say, at least until they come on here anyway. It's very easy to criticize in the comments. Very easy. But it's the truth. When I tell you I talk about solutions, you don't want to listen to it. The video I talk about Alabama, you don't watch it. The video when we are on here arguing, you watch it. When people get into beefs, you watch it. When people on here talking about, how to make usable energy, how to invest your money in the stock market, it's something that you can help yourself personally. You're not interested in that. So when people come on here and say, well, you just show this kind of thing, you talk about white supremacy, blah, 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 that's because you are conquered by it. Right now, you lost. They destroyed your idea. Whatever leader that you feel like you have, they lost to that. I'm sorry to say, Marcus Garvey, he lost to it. Whatever leader that the indigenous people follow, they lost to it. Chief Black Smoke, he lost. Right? And it pains me to say it. Ida B. Wells, she lost. Right? And you know what? On her deathbed, she was like, yo, I did all of this stuff, and it's like black people is not continuing it. White supremacists always take both sides of the fence, both sides of the fence, whoever wins. They may do, but the problem is we do too. We take both sides of the fence, Jermaine. And it's no way around it. You can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You can't say, I want solutions, and then I do nothing to be a part of the solution. You can't complain about it and then not do nothing about it. You can't say you need to think this way and not enforce that way of thinking so that it works. You can't give a pass to all of these quote unquote good white people and invite them to the barbecue. You can't say love is love and it is what it is. No, because you got to take the time to get to know the person before you fall in love. You can't ride both sides of the fence and win. That's why you lose. They don't ride both sides of the fence. White supremacists don't ride both sides of the fence. They ride their side of the fence. And when it benefits them to work together, they will do business without their feelings being involved. And they may be psychopaths or whatever, and we may have emotions and be empathetic and all of that kind of stuff, but you got to use your emotions to your advantage. You get mad for a damn reason. But you say, no, well, I don't want to be the trope of the angry black man. You're a damn fool if you're not angry. Or the angry black woman. You're a fool if you're not angry. It's retarded to me. They don't play both sides of the fence. We do. We give white women a pass all day, every day. We give invite I don't know how many people to the barbecue. We say, okay, if we gotta kill somebody, only the slave owners leave. The the elderly, the women, the children, the cool white boys, the white boys who know how to rap, the white boys who dress kind of black, the white boys who are comfortable being white but they're cool with being whatever. We give all of them a pass. That's the person who rides both sides of the fence. But while we out here talking about this stuff, I'm gonna show you what they're talking about. And I know people probably ain't gonna watch this video. None of y'all want the smoke on this one. I'm talking about your ideology. If you're a Pan-African, you lost, bro. Give it up to Pan-African. If you're indigenous, you lost. All of that shit is stupid. Who cares? Right? Somebody came on your land and took it. Who cares if you was here 50,000 years ago? Who cares if everybody comes from Africa? Who cares? You lost. Because since that time, they have done what they had to do. I guess everybody agrees with that. So I guess we never have to talk about that again. Well, that's all you want to talk about. So what it is, what it is. But while we talking about that, let's look at what they're talking about. Right? Top 3 calibers to stock up on now. I'm talking about bullets. The ammo shortage is coming. Now, a lot of y'all haven't heard there's a supposed ammo shortage. Just like there's a food shortage, gas, all of that stuff. Everything is a price, you know what I'm saying? And bullets is another thing. So I'm going to play a little bit of this.
I'm going to do a quick little video here about the top 3 calibers. Actually, we're going to do top 4. We're going to do 3, but we're going to have a kind of an added bonus because it's kind of the same thing. It's Russian, but top 3 calibers I would stock up on now and forever and always. Number 1 being 9mm. As Tools and Targets says, and a lot of other people say it, but he's one of my favorite YouTubers, even though he's small. If you guys haven't checked him out, check Tools and Targets out. But as he always says, you can't have too much 9mm. You can't argue with that. 9mm, top 5 best rounds ever. I mean, buy it while you can, and I think prices are just going to keep going up, and things are just going to get worse. Everyone's seen gas prices, ammo prices, gun prices, all that stuff. I don't think it's getting any better. So, stock up on 9mm. This isn't all I have, but this is a 50 cal ammo can. Fold the brim. I might be able to get 100 more in there. So, but stock up on 9. As you can see here, 7.62 by 39. The Russian import ban. There's 100 million rounds. The delivery was halted. We're not going to get that. I don't think we're going to see Russian ammunition from Russia ever again. I think what's here is here, and it'll last. I gave it 6 weeks was my thoughts, but I think 6 weeks.
You'll get Russian ammo again, but you better stock up. You better get some African ammo.
And it's going to be gone. As you guys can see, again, this is not all my 7.62 by 39. This is all my steel and my cheap brass. I have some really good Hornady and other brass, and this is also kind of the bonus one was 7.62 by 54R. Honestly, 5.45. You could say that's a 5th one, whatever. My second one, what I'm going to say is Russian ammunition. Stock up on it while you can. I want to say, try not to be a jerk about it. If you can, if you can afford 10 boxes and I let you have 10 boxes, get 10. But if they only have 10, maybe.
If they got 10, get all 10 of them motherfuckers, because there's gonna be a white boy coming behind you that get it.
Save some more for some other people.
Don't save none for nobody else. Get all of them.
Just my thoughts. That's how I've always been. We found a phone on the. To me, I'm gonna be kind to you, but really anything Russian. 7.62 by 39, 5.4. 22 is gonna be my third one. I don't even know how many thousands of rounds are in here. Then again, like I said, I haven't said it in this video. I have like 28,000 rounds, I think, maybe 30. I don't know. I'd have to look. But this is not all my 22. This is every single one in here is all Federal Auto Match. Walmart used to have them for 17, 18 bucks. Now it's about 21.56, something like that. Still a good deal for 325 rounds, I believe it is, in those Federal Auto matches. But 22 long rifle is going to be my third choice. Just like Tool says, same sort of thing. Tools and Target says you can't have too much 22. You can't have too much 9. I completely agree with that. I think any gun guy agrees with that. So these are my 3 picks of what you should.
All right, so praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. And my question for you is, what do you think he needs this much 9 and 22, bullets for ammunition? You let me know. And do you feel like you need that? So,
2 long rifle. We'll say both these together. You can't have too much of them. Tools and Targets, if you guys haven't seen his channel, check him out. He does some really good gel testing and stuff, but that's something he always says. You can't have too much 22 long rifle, and you can't have too much 9mm. Can't even argue with that. I mean, that's 100% facts. I think you can have too much 12 gauge, if you ask me. It's bulky, it's big, it's hard to store, but anyways. 22 long rifle, I would say minimum of 10,000 rounds. 10,000 rounds, I don't know, you could get that for, I'm not even 100% sure what 22 is going for at the moment. You should be able to get 10,000 rounds pretty easy. We'll just say that. You should be able to get that for less than 500 bucks, I would assume. Yeah, 10,000 rounds, probably about 500 bucks, 5 cents a round, 6 cents a round, something like that. Just my opinion. I'd say 10,000 rounds on that. And this is, for me, this is kind of an ammo shortage thing and not so much survival. It's a little of both, but I can tell you right now, you're not as good as you think you are with your gun. I'm not either. Nobody is. I guarantee you will get shot and killed before you waste 10,000 rounds in a survival situation. Same thing with this. In my opinion, I think you should have 2,500 rounds of 9mm or your handgun choice. So whether it's 38 Special, 357, 44 Magnum, not going to go as big and say 460 and 500 because that's retarded amount of money. But, you know, your handgun caliber, most people choose 9mm. 45, like I said, same thing, probably 2,500 rounds. So 10,000 rounds, 2,500 rounds. Your hunting caliber, this is 30-06, that's what I prefer. I would say 500 rounds of that, just my opinion.
by the way, because there may be a point where you have to kill and eat your own food or whatever.
I think that's plenty. Same sort of thing on that. You're gonna die or get killed by time in a SHTF scenario. You're not going to use all of this ammo. This is just, like I said, it's kind of survival, but it's also ammo shortage related. Buy it while you can type thing. On hand at all times, 223, I think you should have 1,000 rounds. I have more than 10,000 rounds. I do want to say this. I have more than 10,000 rounds of that. I got more than 2,500 rounds of that. I got more than 500 rounds of that. I got more than 1,000 rounds of that. So those are my picks there. My 5th pick would be 12 gauge. That's what I use. I mean, same sort of thing for 20 gauge, 410, 28 gauge, 16 gauge, 10 gauge, whatever it is. I think you should have 250 rounds. Not all birdshot. I would have some, maybe 100 rounds of birdshot, 50 rounds of double buck, 50 rounds of slugs, maybe 50 rounds of something else, kind of split it up. You don't have to have all the same stuff. And for a survival situation and even or hunting, you don't want all birdshot. You don't want all target loads. I have a lot of turkey. I have a lot of rifled slugs. I have a lot of slugs made for smoothbore. I have a lot of double buck. I have some specialty rounds. But that's what I would say. Those are my opinions. If you guys disagree, let me.
All right. So, let me see. Right. So, like I said, man, I know a lot of people aren't on this kind of level or whatever, but it is what it is. I don't really care, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm tired of all the same stuff all day, everything. What do you think they're stocking up all of this stuff for? At the beginning of 2020, right? They was talking about Virginia. Virginia is an open carry state, and they was talking about making people, turn in their guns and limiting their gun rights and all of that stuff. Them white people went out there and bought so much ammunition before the January 5th thing. They was out there buying so much ammunition and telling you what they were gonna do. Now, my thing is, it's not that it's irrelevant that they're out there buying ammunition. The relevant part is that you need to be out there doing all of this stuff. You may not even be aware that there was an ammunition shortage. See, we are like, yo, even back in the day, I'd be well said every black home should have a Winchester rifle. Yeah, should have a special place for a Winchester rifle. And today, at least we should have a special place for, carrying guns, whether that's, conceal or not. Time to work, my brother. What up? So I'm gonna show one more from that kind of video of what y'all need to be doing as far as like arming up and stuff like that.
Stop buying ammo. I declare the shortage over. And I know it sounds crazy.
That's not true. Yo, buy all the ammo you can. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, support the black bullet makers. Like, yo, the sister that Bakari knows is trying to make bullets. But that's another story, because I know that's why we here. Y'all can't support other black people doing stuff. The white man's ice is colder. And, that person may be FBA or Pan-African or, may support this particular person. It is what it is, man. Black people is doomed if any other way, because that's what these people is talking about. That's what the native people is talking about, how to make renewable energy. And we sitting here talking about, well, no, you ain't black. You ain't black. What is black? Define what black is. That's crazy.
But you need to start looking at other things besides ammo to invest in. Ammo prices are coming down. Ammo availability is coming back. Things are going well. But I got 4 things here on the table. Well, there's more than 4, but 4 classes of things here on the table that I want to talk about that you should be buying now. Some because they might be banned. Others because prices are coming down and you should just buy guns. But before we begin, a quick reminder. We have a gun giveaway going on right now. You can enter for free, but at City Magazines, the price is where we're going with this. First thing out there, standard capacity magazines. The prices are down. Get them while they're hot. A 30-round magazine for your AR. Some are as low as $9 a piece, but you can get the really good ones.
By the way, I think the prices is going back up depending on where you are. But I think the price is going back up. This was February 19th, 2022. But the price is going back up.
For $15, buy them. I grabbed this from American Tactical. It's a 60-round AR magazine. The SIG brace, there it is. The standard SIG brace. Get a hold of one of those. Or we also have the new and improved CAC brace. Get a hold of one of those so you can build yourself an AR pistol. If you're getting the braces, of course you need AR-15 parts. And the reason I'm telling you to buy them right now is because, yeah, I shop around. This complete upper with a bolt carrier group and charging handle, $300 out the door, free shipping. So of course I bought one, and then if you have an upper, then you need a lower. Got this one, Anderson Manufacturing, $158, complete lower with an ambidextrous safety on it. So did you do the quick math? Got me a $450 AR-15 right there that's going to come together very nicely. Thank you, online retailers. Then all I'm going to need is whatever I want to put on the back end of this for a collapsible buttstock. It's time to start looking around at what you really want for guns. The past couple of years has just been terrible as far as buying guns, getting ammo, things like that. Now there's opportunity out there and you need to take it while it's hot. I didn't have to worry too much about ammo during the ammo shortage because I bought lots of ammo when there was lots of ammo available.
What do you know? I bought lots of ammos, food, batteries, whatever you need. You know what I'm saying? Like, while you could, toilet paper. What can I say?
I need you to start thinking about doing that now. Guns are becoming more available. Gun components are becoming more available. Now's the time to start buying these before they get banned or before the prices go way back up. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. And a quick reminder, one more.
No, it's not that his opinion matters, Jermaine. The point is, show me the black person who's doing it. That's not like, one of those black NRA members. I can show you 1,000 videos of black people tearing down other black people, not telling you which ammunition to buy or telling you that there's an ammunition shortage or even telling you to arm yourself. That's the whole problem. That's why I'm showing you this, because we can't see it from ourselves. A lot of us need somebody else to tell us to even believe it in the first place. And that's the thing, black people, we are like, we as a collective are just so weak right now. So weak. How many times do we have to talk about being prepared? And it's not like all of them are prepared. I don't care about any of them. I care about all of us. I care about us. The point is, we have to start learning our damn lesson. You better stock up on all the ammunition you can. You better support the black gun manufacturers. Exactly, Erica. That's the point. We just too weak to understand what it takes. It is what it is. And that's why white supremacy can say this is white supremacy. Because of your weakness. Not because of nothing they did. Because of your weakness. You gave them the supreme position. Because you want to follow your damn ideologies. Ain't nothing but weakness on our parts. His opinion matters when he busts up in our house and tell us to break off all the food that we got or the water that we got. But we ain't gonna have no damn water because we don't even want to listen to that part. And see, that's what I'm showing you. They're over there stocking up. They have thousands and thousands and thousands of bullets. They have guns. They are ready. They are prepared. You are not. You are sitting here arguing about what you identify as. You are sitting here arguing about what the term black means. Because to the white man, it means you're superior. Everything that we have means something based off what somebody white tells us. According to their law, black means that you're I don't care what you say. You're subservient to their damn law. No matter what you call yourself, I don't give a damn. Because until you get to that point where you're sovereign, and I never say this on here, but I say, if we all agreed on being the Moors and we stood on that and say like, we the Moors, if you try us, we gonna fuck you up. They ain't got no choice but to respect that. But we can't do that because we're gonna be like, no, we're this, no, we're that, no, we're this. And then also we have to wait for Jesus to come also, because we can't take it into our own hands to do nothing about our own salvation. It's straight weakness. Other people are out there saying, praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. We are saying when Jesus comes, when he walks on water, he might take about our enemy, but he's also going to take out like 2/3 of us too. So I don't understand the point of that. We are saying when the sky cracks and God comes down and saves us, they are saying praise the Lord and pass the damn ammunition, because they have the ammunition to pass. I ain't see not one black person that ever said, and maybe I didn't do enough research, but I never heard one black person say there's an ammunition shortage. I heard them talk about gas. I heard them talk about toilet paper. I heard them talk about the grocery store. I haven't heard not one person talk about an ammunition shortage. That is weakness. That's why you conquered. You can't do nothing to help your damn self. You can't even get clean water in your own neighborhoods because you don't want to. Not because somebody's stopping you, because you don't want to, because we are that weak right now. Maybe it's the illusion of I don't care what it is. Maybe it's like, I don't care. Because today we are in a position, we've been given that position. Yo, it's up to me to learn what happened and all of that stuff. It's up to me to learn it. But it's up to me to be a grown ass man. It's up to you to be a grown man or a woman and say, enough is enough. Now, this is the narrative that I'm setting. I'm setting my own goddamn narrative. We arguing about what a narrative that somebody else puts out there instead of saying, well, we're standing on this fucking narrative no matter what. Because you're so damn weak that you can be crushed. So I don't want to hear nothing else about any of y'all ideologies about saying, well, we have to say this or we have to say that. Not until you are willing to get in that position to where we can have those arguments. That comes from after we get to the point where we need to be, where we can dispose of our own shit, because we can't do that right now. Because we arguing about it, right? While they're talking about ammunition, we're talking about where we come from. While they're talking about how can we help each other, we're talking about how can we get apart from each other. And if you're FBA, I understand what you're saying, but you're also saying, like, how can we not help other Black Americans? So it's still, you're taking the L. I mean, man, we fight over East Coast, West Coast beef. It's crazy. And then we wonder why we're in the position. I know why we're in the position. That's why I make the stuff that I make, because I know what appeals to us. I'm mad that our elderly, especially women, have so much problems. You know, my mom went to the doctor and she was supposed to get a checkup. They didn't even take her blood pressure. And then if you ask a woman, because I talked to a few women about that, and they told me about their experience. Right? I saw something on social media that said, yo, the doctors are what the police are to doctors are to Black women what the police are to Black men. So why the hell aren't they Black hospitals there? Because I know what their mentality is. But that's because we don't have the value in ourselves. We don't think that Black women is worth it. We don't think that Black men is worth it. And that's because you don't think that you are worth it yourself. And I get it. We've been fed so much misinformation, and all we see on TV is killers and dope, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, pimps and women abusers and women that are prostitutes and women that cheat and lie and abuse men and all of this stuff. That's all we ever see. I get it. But we also don't control our own narrative. And when I start doing that and showing the truth, then other Black people want to come on here and say, well, you know, we can't just keep pointing the finger at the white man. No, I'm not pointing the finger at the white man. I'm pointing it at you. I'm not talking to no other people. Anything that I've ever done has never been for no other group of people but Black people. I'm not talking for Black people. I'm talking to Black people. And that's why I'm telling you, stop with the dumb arguments. Who cares where you come from? I don't care if that person says I'm not African. I don't care if that person that says I am African. I don't care about none of that. Indigenous, African, no matter where you go on this planet, you lost. You are conquered. We are weak. As a collective, we are straight weak. We can't even do nothing to help ourselves, and me included. What can you do to fix the water in Flint? Because it's been going on for I don't know how long. Or do you believe that that's real? See, we'd rather be like, oh, it's a fairy tale because we don't have to deal with the reality. But I'm here to tell you, until you deal with that actual reality, until you deal with that pain, you got to go through that. You got to accept that. We lost. They came in, they violated my mom. They violated my daughter. They violated my sister. They violated me. They raped Black men. They made us boys. They made us less than humans. We wasn't able to protect our women. We wasn't able to protect ourselves. And this is me speaking as a black man. I accept my failure of what I have done. And now it's time for me to correct it. I'll never let that shit happen again. I'm willing to die for whatever it is that I want. But until you're willing to accept it, you're going to keep passing the damn blame. And as long as you passing the blame, you're not going to come up with the solution. And when somebody does come up with the solution, you're going to go away from that solution because you got to pass the damn blame. You got to accept the responsibility to the place that you are today to even get to the next point. Cry, whatever you got to do. Scream into a pillow. You know what I'm saying? Go hit a punching bag. I don't care what you got to do, but accept the reality. Another man controls your food. He controls your diet. He controls how your baby's born. He controls if you get a shot or if you work or not. He controls what you say on the internet. He controls everything. What you drink, what you eat, how fast you drive on the road, what you call yourself. He controls all of that. Now I accept that. Now it's time for me to build what I have to build to not be a part of none of that no more. So now that I can accept that, now it's time for me to build a hospital so I don't have to depend on somebody else's hospital. Time for me to make my own police force so I don't have to call somebody else for the damn police. Because that's all they're going to say. Well, you got to call the police or you call blah, blah. Now I accept responsibility for the things that I have done personally that I have failed. And as a collective, as a group of people, I take the responsibility for what we have failed at. But I also take pride in what we have succeeded in. I also know that side of us, that we can succeed, that is inside of us. Especially without the illusion of inclusion. But that's anything. The more desperate that you are, the less that you feel like you have no way to get out of it, the more savage you're going to be in responding and the more you're going to do to get out of it. That's why they have to give you this illusion of inclusion, this feeling that maybe I do have some kind of power, in which you do have complete power. Because the very second that you say enough is enough, then enough will be enough. It's just that we haven't got there. Slavery wasn't enough. I mean, countless lynchings weren't enough. Rapes weren't enough. Rape so much they changed our DNA to the point where we argue about who we are. You know what I'm saying? What is black, mulattoes, all of that stuff. We've been raped that much and it wasn't enough. And I'm trying to figure out what will be enough. And I'm going to keep trying to figure it out. But even the stuff that I show, then they got to bring it back to black people even then. Because that's not enough. It's a sick mentality, man. I don't mean, you know. But let me show this last couple things because I want to show how other groups of people respond to that. And I was supposed to go to this earlier, but whatever, man. I kind of went on a rant. But see, when other people feel like they should help each other out, they don't really care, man. And it's hard for us to help each other out. But you see what they say, let's band together for Ukraine. North Texas restaurant selling wristbands to raise money.
Involves wristbands. Fox 4's Alex Boyer gives us a closer look. Hi, Alex.
Hi, Clarice. You know, the CEO of FB Society got the idea for this fundraiser through one of his employees. She's from Ukraine and immigrated here when she was 8 years old, but still has plenty of family over in that country. You know, in just a few weeks, they've raised thousands of dollars and they're just getting started. At Haywire Restaurant in Plano.
Did you want to go to get seated?
Customers can get a one-of-a-kind drink, a fresh cut of meat, and a unique wristband.
Let's say Band Together for Ukraine.
Jack Gibbons is the CEO of FB Society, which owns Haywire and several other popular North Texas restaurants. Gibbons is encouraging folks to band together for Ukraine.
Short term, we want to help refugees and really the humanitarian needs that are right now in Ukraine.
Do you want to receive?
Customers can buy the yellow and blue silicone wristbands for $5 at any of the FB Society restaurants. People can also buy them online. Gibbons says the response has been amazing.
One of my daughter's teachers was at an event, ended up buying 100 bands, bringing them back to the school, and people want to make a difference.
So far, they've raised some $50,000 from selling the wristbands. 100% of the proceeds will go to Razum, which means Together in Ukrainian, a vetted nonprofit that's supporting refugee needs in Ukraine. The need is great.
Well, right now, we've heard President Zelensky, Ukrainian authorities begging for a civilian evacuation. We've seen the beginning of that so far, but of course, there are still many still trapped in the city.
Early Monday, more than 100 Ukrainians, including elderly women and mothers with small children, were evacuated from a steel plant in the ravaged city of Mariupol. They've been trapped there for more than 2 months.
The city is besieged, and Russia is really looking to take it.
They'll join the 5.5 million Ukrainian refugees who have fled the country during the 10-week war. Forced to start a new life with nothing, Gibbons wants them to feel the love from Texans.
And if we just in some small way can make a difference to help that country and help what's going on, it just feels like the right thing to do.
Sure, yeah, just let me know whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
Hold on, I meant to show one more video. My bad. Let me show this last video because I want to show how much money they have raised for what they are doing. And
the United Nations estimates that some 12 million people are in need of humanitarian assistance due to Russia's invasion of Ukraine and the ongoing conflict. Now, millions have been displaced, either fleeing to nearby nations or seeking refuge inside the country. The idea...
Now, I don't know how many billions have been displaced when it comes to the Negro race. Billions of people have been displaced for hundreds of years, and man.
Behind this event in Warsaw was to mobilize more financial support for those affected through pledges from wealthy countries and also the private sector. Now, Swedish Prime Minister Magdalena Andersson had this to say.
Ukraine is fighting for the right of free and democratic states to choose their own future. And in that sense, you are fighting for us all. And therefore, we need to support you.
Ukrainian Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal was also present, expressing his gratitude to donors.
Since the start of the full-scale war, our state has received more than $12 billion of support in arms and finances. And we are very grateful for this crucial help. We are currently going through the most difficult stage of our history when the fate of our state is being decided.
But
wait, how much money did he get?
The most grateful for this crucial arms and finances. Billion. It has received more than $12 billion of support in arms and finances.
And support in U.S.
And we are
arms
very grateful
and finances.
for this crucial help. We are currently going through the most difficult stage of our history when the fate of our state is being decided.
Yeah, whatever, man. So they're going through their most crucial fate. Well, we've been going through our most crucial fate for 600 years, and we can't do a goddamn thing. And they got $12 billion. Now, let me show you what we have done for our Lawrence County, Alabama, 383 donations. And I appreciate the the 6 other people I donated myself. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. So, when we start talking about, the Alabama sewage crisis, right? Building our own infrastructures, we ain't getting anything. Now, I'm calling out people like, and I'm sorry, that's my brother and all that, but people like, my brother Bakari, somebody like Umar Johnson, Pan-Africans and all of that. How are you Pan-African if you ain't allowing everybody in? Right? That's black. That's not Pan-African. I'm calling out the indigenous people, like the people like Tariq Nasheed, people like Hardcore, all of them. Because all of that is a bunch of BS, and that's just a dumb reason for y'all to just fight for no reason. That's because y'all scared to actually go against the real truth. To get actual freedom, you only want comfort. All of y'all. Nobody is willing to do the things that you have to do because you have to be in control of your own sewage system. Right? Yeah, I agree that they should not be taking our tax dollars, but how are we going to stop them from taking it if y'all scared to do anything about it? If I say, yo, is all these people recording George Floyd, maybe somebody could have kicked the cop in the face, and then all these black people like, oh, you can't say that. How in the hell is that not weak? How is that a sovereign? How is that freedom? Freedom comes with consequences. That's the part you don't realize. Freedom comes with the responsibility of being in charge of your own stuff. That's what you don't realize. You can't be free if you don't do all the things that's necessary to be free. If you're not willing to shoot somebody in the face for threatening that freedom, if you're not willing to build some kind of way to dispose of your own shit, feces, if you don't find a way to feed your own people, you don't or won't ever have freedom. And I don't care what you call yourself. You can say I'm a part of this tribe. You can say I'm a Pan-African. And since nobody came on here, I assume all of y'all agree and we never have to talk about none of that dumb stuff again. But it don't matter what you say. If people who were Israelites was feeding the people and making justice, more people would be Israelites. If people who were Moors were doing that, more people would be Moors. But because we're not unifying under one banner. So let's drop all of that. So no more, I don't want to hear no more of that stuff. Let's create something new and be our own. Our ancestors did what they did. Now it's time for us to leave our own stamp on the world. We can't live off them forever. We can learn from them, learn from their successes and learn from their failures. Now let's make something new for our, like 500 years from now, saying, we were the Planeteers, if we did call ourselves the Planeteers. But instead of arguing under somebody else's system, they can argue under their own system where they can be educated with their own history instead of somebody else educating them about their history. HBCUs can't even have their own curriculums for real. Let's be real about it. A black cop don't have no power for real. A black politician, because we was talking about how can black people be racist, and then people name black people being racist to other black people. But they not racist because they can't do it to nobody else. Let's see Jesse Lee Peterson go in on somebody else and see what happened to him. Let's see Larry Elder pass a law or something else against somebody other than black people and see what happened to him. Let's see Sheriff David Clark abuse somebody other than a black person and see what happened to him. You can't be goddamn racist right now because you don't have the courage to be. That's why I say you can't, because you're scared, because you want to argue about dumb stuff, because you're not willing to do what it takes. You can be racist. You can be, but you can't because you're scared, because you accept the white man. You've accepted the Englishman. And you feel like, well, we just got to fit into the society and appeal to his moral authority the moral capacity of a psychopath at that. And maybe, just maybe, he'll treat us fairly, equally, or give us comfort. But we don't need this freedom thing, because then we'll have to be in control of our own sewage system. We'll have to be in control of our own transportation system, our own. Man, at the end of the day, man, we are all we got, man. How long are you going to be scared? They've done everything they can possibly do. Honestly, right? When one of the things that's like holding me back is like, yo, when I have children, I don't want to be like the same way, you know what I'm saying? I want them to be able to have some kind of control of their self. I hate that we aren't in control of our own destiny. And no matter what you say, we are in control of our own destiny, but it's a collective effort. Because when somebody passes a law that says you have to do something or you can't get on a flight, you're not in control of your own destiny. But when somebody says something and you be like, I don't care, I'm gonna do what I want to do. And what are you gonna do about it? Then you are free. But with freedom comes responsibilities. Like maintaining that freedom. Like defending your women, defending your children, defending your brothers. Like not accepting anybody crossing your boundaries. Not letting somebody define what your boundaries are. That's not freedom. When you say no justice, no peace, that's not freedom. That's saying, please meet me halfway on my boundaries. White supremacy beats black ideologies all day, every day. They've had the Berlin Conference. So they can say Pan-Africans against FBA. They win. They can say older black people versus younger black people. They win. They can say black men versus black women. They win. They've had their Berlin Conference. We have not. Leave your ideology at the door, and that goes for everybody. Pan-African, indigenous, Christian, Muslim, Hebrew, Moor. I don't know what else I can say. And I'm not for taking away black people's ideology, but at some point it needs to be taken away. You lost. The Moors lost. Christians lost. Pan-Africans lost. Indigenous lost. I don't know what else we can say. They lost. And we're going to continue to lose as long as we stay in these tribal divisions. The Sioux tribe, the Watusi tribe, the whatever, Nigerians. I don't care what you call yourself, Jamaican. You lost. Accept that. And you can keep your Jamaican, your Sioux tribe, your Pan-African, your this, your that. You can keep all of that and be willing to work together and you will win. And when you leave it at the door, when we're sitting here talking about building a school, let's not bring Pan-African versus FBA into it. When we're talking about fixing the sewer system, let's not bring ideology into it. And you will win that easily. But no, everybody got to think like me. Everybody got to follow me. Everybody got to do what I say. Everybody got to, my way is the right way. It may be. Just go out there and do it. And then once you build it, they will come. When you build it, they will come. When you can feed them, they will follow you. They will listen. People are looking for a leader. And like I said, I'm not all the way there. I don't completely understand the leader thing, but people are looking for a damn leader. Be one. Be the change that you want to see. And at the end of the day, that will happen. But you got to get rid of that weakness, man. But since nobody came on here today, I ain't going to thank nobody. You know what I'm saying? Except for the people in the chat. I appreciate the people in the chat. But like I said, man, I'm convinced now that all of y'all are weak. So since none of y'all came on, I shouldn't hear no more of that BS. And if you do, then I want to hear exactly what you're doing for the people that you identify as. I'm not going to tell you to identify as black. If you identify as something, tell me what the hell you're doing for them. Or shut up about all of this division stuff. Shut up about it. Or shut up about what I'm talking about. Shut up if I'm talking about white supremacy if you ain't down with fixing it. Because when I talk about it, I'm talking about how we can conquer it, how we can defeat it, how it works, what the things that are successful against us so we can prevent that from happening. That's when I talk about it. And if you ain't willing to do what it takes to get out of it, shut up. Don't tell me nothing about what I need to be doing or what somebody else need to be doing until you're doing it. Then shut up. And that includes me. All right, but man, I gotta thank the people that did support, you know what I'm saying, what we trying to do in Lawrence County, Alabama. And it's not just there, it's everywhere. Look, black people have been in poverty for I don't know how long. Let's not act like this is brand new. Black people have been in the worst land because we lost. The indigenous people, you lost. And you're on the worst land because somebody else took the good land from your ass. And if they want that land too, they're coming to take that too. And the native people are on here having conferences about renewable energy, not about if Harriet Tubman existed or not. It's retarded. Who takes away their heroes? You don't see Italians talking about Christopher Columbus don't exist, or not exist, or you don't see them talking about he didn't come to America, even though we all know he didn't. No, they said we want to celebrate Columbus Day. But black people will say, I'm not black, but Italians are black. It's crazy, man. If that's not sickness, and this is why I'm not as hard on the coon, because I know we are sick. I know we are sick, man. But like I said, man, I don't think any of y'all, because y'all didn't come on here, you know what I'm saying? I guess y'all agree. And I know y'all listening too. But I don't think none of y'all are weak. We are weak. I'm concluding myself. We are weak. We can't do anything. And if we could, we would do it because we have that ability. And if we ain't doing it, that means that we can't. So prove me wrong. I'm trying to prove myself wrong. And I'm going to keep trying. But we're weak, man. The fact that white women, like that's the crazy thing though. The fact that white women can have more power than a black man makes no sense in the world to me. But they're way more savage. But a white woman can make a black man fold 8 times out of 10. And I'm trying to be nice. 8 times out of 10. It's disgusting. And a white man probably 9.5 times out of 10. Because I got to salute to the Micah Johnsons of the world. A hero. The brother who drove into that parade, a hero. Nat Turner, a hero. Madison Washington, a hero. Harriet Tubman, a hero. Us, weak, not on their level. Not doing anything. Not all revolution is bloody, but some of it is. But if you're not a bloody person, then you're still not doing the part that's not bloody, which is supporting black businesses, which is trying to buy land yourself, which is trying to learn how to grow food, learn how to, or buy as many seeds as you can, or buy ammunition, or whatever it is. And then we wonder why we lose. But let me put this in the chat before I get out of here. If y'all want to support what I'm doing and trying to raise money for the what's going on in Alabama with the water crisis, and like I said, it's not just Alabama. It's got to do something. Truth 884, what up, my brother? I didn't even see you in there. So this is the link for the GoFundMe for the water crisis in Alabama. And you know what? I'm gonna before I get out of here, because I'm about to get out of here, I'm gonna play this last video, and this is the video I made about it. about the water crisis. So I'm gonna play a little bit of it before I get out of here. So if you want to be a part, definitely. But like I said, man, look at the videos where it's pure nonsense, nothing to learn, and look at the views. Then look at the views of videos where I try to talk about stuff where we can build something. Like when we talked about the tech stuff, look at the views compared to the videos where I talk about police brutality. Right? Look at the views about the 8-minute video, 8 minutes. Right? And my other videos is like an hour or no less than that. And look at the views when I talk about a solution of helping somebody and helping elderly Black people in Lawrence County, Alabama, who living in poverty, who can't even take a shower. Look at the views on that compared to the views when we sitting here arguing about where we come from, if we indigenous, if we African. So it's not just everybody else, it's us too. I'm gonna play this video. Y'all donate to the thing. I'm only playing this because yeah, like I said, I'm trying to y'all donate to the Lawrence County water crisis. This is the link to the GoFundMe. This is my email. And next week we having the next meeting. So we actually discussing solutions and stuff that we trying to do. I don't care if it's I'm the only person in there. I'm gonna keep going. It is what it is.
Hidden crisis that's threatening lives in our most vulnerable communities. Many are living without things that most of us take for granted, like running water and sanitation. The new $1 trillion Infrastructure Act provides nearly $12 billion to fix that.
In a largely poor and Black region of rural Alabama, many are living without adequate septic systems. It's creating a dangerous wastewater crisis that residents and activists describe as environmental racism.
It's really the waste that comes out of the septic tank. That's what it is. It's like the raw sewage that come out of your body. It's the odor. It's the smell. It's the raw sewage that comes out of this body. That's what it is. There's no other way to explain it. That's what it is.
And that is all over your yard.
Yes.
America in the 21st century hides its shame in the backyards of the rural poor. In Lowndes County, Alabama, Herman Hardy knows all about it.
When there's a lot of rain, you cannot flush the toilet.
And then if you did, it would be all over your house.
Yeah. When it goes bloop, bloop, get ready. Here it comes.
The dark green waters across from Jerry Dean Smith's home hold a foul-smelling mix of human waste.
It smells. It smells so bad.
In Haynesville, Alabama, and many towns across Lowndes County, residents pay for sewage to flow into these lagoons. But here, many homes have failing sewage systems or none at all.
You got waste running in people's yards, neighbors' yards. It backs up in the majority of these neighbors' homes. It backs up in the bathroom and on the floor.
In the unincorporated areas of this county, where Martin Luther King famously led the Selma to Montgomery March, there's no municipal sewage system. And for an estimated 80% of households, no adequate septic system either.
It backs up in the shower, backs up in the tub, nets everywhere.
Raw sewage regularly flooded Kenneth Gordon's 83-year-old mother's house.
This tub, the toilet, that have most of the problems.
He had to move her out. Were you concerned about your mother's health?
Yes, very, very concerned about her health.
Residents like 78-year-old Catherine Canyon are just trying to survive in squalid conditions.
If I go in there, if it rains, and take a shower, or flush my stew, the waste coming back up, sometimes I keep it safe. So I don't use dish. I use paper plates. It got me disgusted.
The sewage pooling below her trailer is rotting the floors. Recently, she says she broke her arm falling through the floor, but she can't afford to fix it or to move.
This is the area close to the roof.
All right, so if y'all want to watch the rest, this is the Lawrence County water crisis. You know what I'm saying? This is the video I posted. And while I'm showing this, let me show you this, because I want to show you it's not just them, it's us too, you know what I'm saying? Now look, I show like people complain about that. I know I'm getting blacklisted and my numbers ain't what it's supposed to be, but it's 200 people watching this video about black police brutality and black person being killed. Now a solution is not so many people watching it, right? We can keep going down to the same thing, you know what I'm saying? And when I go over to when we was live with the brother Ben, you can see like I know it, like I said, I know I'm getting blacklisted and stuff, and they're not showing it. But you can see the number of views I'm getting. Now, this was video we was arguing about the most views. Another video we was arguing about the most views. Another video we was arguing about all these views. But let me go down. When we talk about black history and stuff, positive history that we can learn from, not too many views. When we talk about building our own networks and stuff like that, not too many views, right? And like I said, I know I'm getting blacklisted because let me see. See, I can show you. See, my number one video has 344,000 views on it. You know what I'm saying? In 2017. And when I started getting all these views, that's when I started getting blacklisted around 2018. See, I was getting all of these views. I understand I'm getting blacklisted, but it's still our people that's watching that's not supporting. See, in 2018, like you could tell, like you could see the time is all around the same time. You get 52,000, 37,000, 23,000, 22,000, all 2018, 2017 after that video, right? See, I understand how it goes, but the more you go and see 2017, 2018, all after that video, and I'm gonna go down to when I get blacklisted. All right, see, I'm still getting all these views until 2019, and then I start getting more blacklisted. And you can see the dates. So it start getting 2019 and start going down and down and down, even though I'm getting more subscribers. See, they do this kind of stuff on these platforms, and I'm not blaming them for the platforms. I'm blaming us for staying on these platforms. You understand? Now you see 2018, 2019, all this stuff is going down further and further until you start getting to the recents, and then you start seeing the hundreds and stuff. We're getting blacklisted on these channels, and we don't even support the black owned companies like fan base. So, like I said, man, make sure y'all download the fan base app and all of that stuff. Yo, I appreciate it, Truth 884. Thank you, my brother. But yeah, man, when we really trying to make change, you see the real from the fake. Some people is only talking about it. Some people is really about it. And until we really about it, we not doing anything. Our Black Truth. I'm not sure who you're talking about, Truth 884. But yeah, thank everybody in the chat, man. But like I said, man, like we got to start doing something, man. We can't keep talking about the same things over and over. I'm not getting into those conversations. I'm done with those arguments and stuff like that. Now, if it come up, it's a time and place in that for everything and stuff like that. But I don't want to hear none of that no more. Oh, I haven't been on that one. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look that up right now. I'm about to get off of here and look that up. I haven't heard of that one. We've been on the fan base app, which is a black owned media, you know what I'm saying? So we've been having good conversations over there. And I'm gonna make more fan base lives, and my name on there is the forecast like you see on the screen. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna get that one. Our Black Truth. I got you. That's what's up. But yeah, I appreciate you, Truth 884. Thank you, my brother. And like I said, man, it is what it is. Like, even if I'm the only one, I'm gonna still try to do what I have to do. I know I'm not the only one, but even if I was, I would still do what I have to do. Because look, I gotta live as the person that I am, and I'm proud to be a black man. And whether I was aware of my history or not, I've never been ashamed to be a black man. I've never not loved black women. I never not loved being black. I don't understand it. And we have to get back to that, because we're never going to be where we want to be until we start doing that. So I thank all of y'all for coming on here, man. Much love to all of y'all. And before I go, I'm going to play this last thing as my going out, because, I mean, it's real relevant compared to today.
It's you liberals who have lifted them up, Howard.
Paul, you conservatives make a mistake. You can't afford to strangle hope in people. Without hope, people become dangerous.
No, Howard, you liberals have let them invade our society. You give them jobs, political jobs.
Paul, you missed the point. It's only the smart ones we move up.
That makes it even worse.
Oh, we have to move them up. If we leave a smart one in the ghetto, he might develop into a leader against us. But if we raise him up into white society, we neutralize him. He feels compelled to try to act like us. He loses his identity and his racial anger, if he has any. He becomes alien to his brothers. They realize he sold them out, and they grow to hate him. He becomes worthless to them and safe for us. No, thank you. In fact, in his love for the creature comforts, except for his color, he's become one of us.
Yeah, so look, man. Yeah, man, they can't stop the rise of a black messiah. Nobody can stop it but us. But what they don't realize is the black messiah is not a person. It's not one individual, right? The black messiah is black unity. And the only thing that can stop black unity is black people. And we have been the only thing that has ever stopped it. Our tribal divisions, our ideologies, it's the only reason why white supremacy can be a term for today, because we've never put our tribal differences to side to squash it, and it could be squashed so easily. But white supremacy wins against black ideologies every time, because we easily divide and conquer ourselves based on our ideologies. So white supremacy has the upper hand, and they win, and they don't have the emotions holding them back. Our hatred, but you can't hate something that you don't love. See, that's the part we don't realize. You can't hate something that you don't love. But our hatred keeps us from uniting and realizing and seeing the black messiah, because the true black messiah is black unity. It's all of us working together, doing what we have to do. And we all have the answers. We all have the answers. Stop being scared to implement it. If you feel like we need a hospital, build a hospital. If you feel like we need a police force, then be the first black policeman on your own force. If you feel like we need food, then be the best cook in the world. But just stop fighting who you are. Just stop fighting the anger that you feel. Stop fighting the sadness that you feel. Stop fighting all of the emotions. Accept it and own it and be it. Live it. It's our truth. And it's time for us to step in our truth and be who we are. Let it go, man. Let go of all of the hatred, man. Let it go. We can never achieve what we want to achieve when we hate each other. Focus that energy in the right path. Don't listen to somebody who is leading you outside of yourself. It's crazy. We are sick mentally. And it's time for us to get over that sickness, because at the end of the day, we are all we got. And our children, our next generation, will never get to where they have to be until we do what we have to do. We are all we got, man. We are all we got. And I love all of y'all. No matter what I say, I love all of y'all. And I have the utmost faith in y'all. That's why I do all the things that I do, because I have faith in us. Me, you, my sister Raw Truth, everybody. I have faith in y'all. But as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we gonna keep falling for anything.